During the day, I acted as if nothing was wrong, but at night I didn't love drawing the curtains. After Li Jie fell asleep, I stared out the window. We lived on the 16th floor, and I thought that if I jumped from here, all this absurd drama could finally end. But soon, I dismissed that idea. It was too high. I would fall and be mangled. That would be too ugly. If Li just saw me like that, he might just turn around and marry Jiajia. That would mean I died in vain. I might even come back to life out of anger. No, that wouldn't do. Li Jie was so cruel, he would quickly forget about me and Kiki. I wanted him to remember me for the rest of his life, to live in guilt forever. I also wanted Jiajia to pay the price she deserved. How could she flaunt her relationship in front of me after everything? That was unacceptable. Soon, the opportunity presented itself. One morning, Li Jie hugged me from behind. I fought the urge to push him away, wanting to see what he had to say. Tomorrow is our wedding anniversary. Let's celebrate properly, he said. I was momentarily stunned. Since Kiki was born, we hadn't celebrated that day. Once I regained my senses, I rejected him. Kiki just passed away. I don't want to celebrate. Li Jie looked displeased. Why do you keep bringing up Kiki? I couldn't hold back. Why can't I mention her? She is your daughter, isn't she? Seeing that the atmosphere was becoming tense, Li Jie fell silent for a moment before compromising. Then we won't celebrate. But I specifically asked for a day off from the lab to spend the whole day with you. If it had been the old me, I would have been overjoyed. Now I only thought that the opportunity had come. Our wedding anniversary happened to be on Valentine's Day. After Li Jie left, I opened my phone to text Jiajia. How are things with your boyfriend? Jiajia told me he wouldn't meet her. I suggested, I have depression. Whenever my husband doesn't come home, I threaten to commit suicide, and he always comes back. You could try that too. Plus, tomorrow is Valentine's Day. I recommend a place, the couple suite at Jiajia Hotel. It's really romantic. My husband and I used to go there often. Maybe in that environment he'll reconsider. I knew the earlier part didn't matter. What was important was that I mentioned that hotel was one we frequently visited. With Jiajia's personality, she wouldn't miss this chance to humiliate me. How nice would it be for her to sleep with my husband at our date spot? Soon, Jiajia sent me a set of pictures, saying she had booked the couple's suite in advance. I opened them and, sure enough, they were pictures from that hotel. Roses, balloons, red wine, utterly romantic. But my attention was solely on one picture. It accidentally captured the door, clearly labeled 1024. I laughed until tears streamed down my face. 15 years of knowing each other, 5 years of marriage, all gone just like that. Taken away by a girl with her clumsy acting. This man had said in the morning he would spend the whole day with me. But by night, he was accepting another girl's invitation. I recalled how deeply he loved me as a teenager, willing to do anything for me. So far back it felt like a past life. I used to think our love story resembled a romance novel. Now I realized that the life after the grand finale would turn out like this. I wiped my tears and was about to continue looking for that hacker when my phone suddenly rang. It was a message from the forum, from the hacker I had dealt with before. He said, "Sister, since you were so straightforward, I'll give you a little gift." I hacked into the hotel system. The woman who booked the room that day has reserved another one for tomorrow, room 1024. Go catch them in the act. Look, even strangers I've never met online felt pity for me. Yet the man I loved for 15 years chose the most disgusting way to hurt me. I didn't want to catch them red-handed, tearing apart all my dignity and letting my youthful love be trampled underfoot for everyone to see. That was too humiliating. I thought I preferred to crush Li Jie in another way. I typed out a single line. I want the surveillance footage from the room. I'll pay you 100,000, no matter what method you use. I didn't know if I offered too much or if he felt sorry for me. After a brief silence, he accepted this seemingly outrageous and somewhat criminal deal. He sent over a series of card numbers. Transfer the money to my account. I'll make sure to take care of it and live stream it for you. Early the next morning, Li Jie received a phone call, his brow furrowed in concern. After hanging up, he said to me, "Jiajia, I'm sorry. There's an issue with some experimental data that's quite serious and relates to the hard work of me and everyone in the lab over the past few months. I have to go take a look. I might not be able to celebrate our anniversary with you today, but I'll try to come back early tonight. I pretended not to care. It's okay. I understand your intentions. Work is important. He kept apologizing while holding me, and I knew he might genuinely want to make it up to me. But I didn't want to give him that chance anymore. After he left, it wasn't long before Jiajia came to tell me her boyfriend had agreed to meet her to talk things over. She said my idea worked. He really cares about me. I told him I booked a hotel room and that if he didn't come, he'd find my body there tomorrow. That really freaked him out, and he agreed to meet me. I smiled and congratulated her, thinking how naive she was to believe Li Jie cared about her. Someone like him only cared about himself. He was probably worried that their dirty secrets would come out and ruin his career. Just as I opened my laptop, I received a message from that guy. Sister, it's all set. The pinhole camera is in place, capturing everything in high definition. Once it's out, this couple will be utterly disgraced. I couldn't help but chuckle. He was quite endearing and had a strong sense of justice. My gloomy mood lifted a bit at that moment. Thanks in advance. Then, under his remote control, the camera connected to my computer. After a brief black screen, the image appeared. It was indeed the same hotel room from Jiajia's photo, and I could see a figure behind the frosted glass of the bathroom. After a while, Jiajia walked out, looking as lovely as a flower. But such beauty was overshadowed by the ugliness of her heart. She sat on the bed, directly facing the camera, typing on her phone. From her happy expression, it was clear she was messaging Li Jie. Soon after, I figured he must have arrived at the hotel. Sure enough, a knock came at the door. Jiajia, like an excited little bird, dashed to open it and threw herself into Li Jie's arms. He pushed her away, his face darkening. What are you doing? Do you think I'll just get back together with you because you threatened to commit suicide? I was shocked to see Jiajia crying, and it was an ugly sight. But I love you. Teacher Chung, I love you. You can't abandon me. I couldn't believe it. Was she actually in love? I thought she was just enjoying showing off to me. Li Jie replied, That doesn't matter. Jia, I don't love you. I love my wife. Do you understand? Then why did you come looking for me? If you love her, why come to me? Seeming to realize she was too emotional, Jiajia quietly added, Teacher Ching, why don't you call me Jiajia anymore? Li Jie hesitated, and I felt something was off. He wouldn't dare make a pun on her name. Would he? That couldn't happen. What if Jiajia got mad and decided to leave him? If they didn't sleep together, how could I get the most damaging evidence to ruin Li Jie? But my worries were pointless. Li Jie spoke up. You know, my wife's name is Jiajia. Jiajia's face visibly paled. It seemed Li Jie had made up his mind to cut things off as he continued, You've seen her. Don't you think you two look alike? At that moment, even if Jiajia didn't want to believe it, she had to. She angrily shot back. How could she compare to me? I'm younger and prettier. If anything, she should look like me. Teacher Ching, please don't break up with me. I really love you. I can't lose you. Li Jie pushed her away. You're not worthy of comparing with her. When she was young, she was countless times more beautiful than you. It's just that later on, maybe she got tired, or maybe she aged. I gradually lost my feelings for her. After she gave birth to our daughter, she suffered from postpartum depression, and I lost the desire to love her. As Li Jie said this, he looked dazed. I felt sick. Was he reminiscing about our past? But he was the one who shattered it all. Can you love her again now? I asked. Yes, he replied. She lost our daughter, and she's fragile. She needs me now, and she's slowly getting better. Jiajia laughed coldly. Your love is cheap. Do you think Jiajia would be disgusted by your love? Li Jie's expression changed. What do you mean? Have you met her? Jiajia's smile vanished. It doesn't mean anything. You spend today with me and I'll let you go. Otherwise, her words trailed off, but they both understood. Jiajia hugged Li Jie and began kissing his cheek. He stood there stiff for a moment before gradually relaxing. I sat at the computer, expressionless, watching the two of them on the bed, seeing the sweat on Li Jie's face. I thought about how that face, that person, had once looked the same in me. Suddenly, my stomach twisted, and I fought off the urge to vomit, forcing myself to keep my eyes on the screen. I don't know how long it took, but they finally stopped. Li Jie pulled away, reminded that today was our anniversary, and quickly finished a shower before leaving. The camera captured everything in high definition. I saved the footage and carefully selected several shots, from their embrace at the door to their time on the bed. I also saved a document to send to the leaders at Li Jie's school. After that, I stepped out. That morning, the bellflower I had nurtured for years had died, so I planned to buy new ones. Oddly enough, when I first started growing them, Li Jie said their symbolism was bad and didn't want me to keep them. But they thrived despite my inexperience. Later, when I had some experience and he stopped caring, they ended up dying. I spent quite a while in a flower shop until I finally found some I liked. Then I took a long time to find a small store that sold pesticides. Maybe it was my neglect that led to their demise. This time, I would use the best herbicide so they might thrive for a long time. When I got home, Li Jie was already there. As soon as he saw me, he approached nervously. "Where did you go?" I replied casually, "My flowers died, so I went to buy new ones." I walked straight to the balcony and callously tossed the dead flowers in the trash, then spent some time planting the new ones. Li Jie followed closely behind me. "I told you before that those flowers were unlucky, but you insisted on keeping them." I nodded. "It is indeed unlucky, but I like them." I stood up and pushed him away. "Don't stand so close. It's disgusting." Li Jie suddenly froze. "You. What did you say?" I smiled. "Nothing. Just said you smell like smoke after going out, and I don't like it." He finally relaxed, but then his phone rang. After answering, he looked puzzled. "Principal, I don't have any classes today, and it's my wedding anniversary. Can't we reschedule?" After hearing something on the other end, he hurriedly put down the phone and said, "Jiajia, the principal doesn't understand why I need to come to school right now. I'll go see what's up. I have a lot to deal with today and won't be able to spend time with you. I promise I'll make it up to you in a few days." I nodded. "Go ahead, it must be something important." Of course it was important. The principal must be furious to see his most valued student embroiled in such a serious moral issue. After Li Jie left, I changed my clothes and took my notebook. As I stepped outside, I remembered I couldn't drive, so I called for a car. "Driver, take me to X University." Once I arrived and was about to go in, the security guard stopped me. I smiled and said, "Don't you remember me? I'm Professor Cheng's wife." He left an important document at home and asked me to deliver it personally. The guard recognized Li Jie. "Oh, Professor Cheng." He just went in. "Working late on Valentine's Day." "Huh? Such dedication. You can go in." He let me through, but what I was delivering wasn't a document. It was a video that would ruin his future and reputation. Once inside, I had no idea where they were, so I asked passing students. They kindly gave me the address of the principal's office and even offered to take me there. The campus was too big, and I was afraid I'd get lost, so I accepted their help. When we arrived, they left, and suddenly I heard a loud banging sound coming from inside, along with faint voices. I straightened my appearance, took a deep breath, and knocked on the door. A voice from inside shouted, "We're busy right now. Please make an appointment." I calmly replied, "I'm Li Jie's wife." There was a moment of silence from inside. Then the door opened, revealing Li Jie. His face was a rare picture of panic. "Jiajia, what are you doing here?" I pushed past him and walked straight up to the principal, opening the notebook I was holding and turning it towards him. That anonymous document was sent by me. Here's the video of Li Jie and junior student Li Jie's inappropriate relationship. Li Jie rushed towards me, grabbing my shoulders. "Jiajia, what are you talking about?" I shook him off and pushed him toward the principal so he could see the screen. "Just take a look." Both their eyes fell on the screen, which displayed the video cover I had carefully selected. It showed Li Jie and Jiajia lost in passion, their profiles clearly visible. Li Jie instantly recognized the hotel from the morning. He froze for a moment before looking up at me. Jiajia, you know? No. I should ask, when did you find out? Before Kiki passed away. So long ago, he murmured, suddenly gripping my shoulders tightly. Jiajia, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. She threatened to kill herself. I went there today to break things off with her. Can you forgive me? Can you please not be mad at me? I looked at him in disbelief. Instead of worrying about his future, he was begging for my forgiveness. Was he in shock? Li Jie's face was frantic as he repeatedly apologized, even shedding tears. It was the principal who couldn't watch any longer and sternly said, Enough. Stop embarrassing yourself. If you've done something wrong, you must face the consequences. He then turned to me. Hello. This is a serious misconduct issue, and our school will definitely take it seriously. Do you have any requests?